I think we're about ready. Wake up, Wilmington. We had about 10 people lined up today, but then Mother Nature said, no, baby, no, baby, no. You're not going to have all those people today. But we got the main guy here today, and that's Mr. Tony Haley, and we appreciate that. I hate to blow everybody's bubble, but Bill Learman will not be here today. All right. Maddie, our intern, was supposed to be here. Travis Fenstemacher, he may not be able to get in touch with me. I have no service. So I'm staring at the same picture I stared at 20 minutes ago on my Facebook, waiting to see if it's going to come on or not. All right, so we're going to do the best we can. Rick may be up to some today. We'll see. And we'll get her going. Hopefully everybody survived the weather. It's 64 degrees right now, which is nice. Jake Lindsay's watching. How you doing, Jake? We're supposed to get up 69, and like I said, we're supposed to get like 5+ inches of rain here the next several days.
There won't be no baseball play this week.
No, not around here. Tomorrow 52, Saturday 71, Sunday 42, but all three of those days rain. Look at that, about 30-degree temperature difference between Saturday and Sunday. That's not good. If anybody saw my Facebook this morning, I had a huge limb come out of a tree in my front yard. I think that tree I'm just going to have to say bye-bye to, but man, I'm afraid. Yeah, the video, everything's going to break up today because we don't even have internet on our phones. I mean,
we don't have Verizon.
We don't have Verizon, yeah. I mean, Rick's got Wi-Fi, and he's got Wi-Fi on the state, but it's, well, it'll be recorded, so, if it doesn't come through real well, you can go back and watch it on YouTube later. Like I said, I do have Tony Haley here today. We're going to get him talking. We're going to talk a little sports. I even got a sports warm-up question for you here in a few minutes. We're going to see. He's more of a baseball guy, and I got a basketball question for him, but we'll see how well he does.
All right.
Storm damage. I know there are several spots of rotation around the area. There's one near Sabina. I think near New Vienna, and Rick said there's some sign damage out here heading out. Did you see that this morning?
Down 22 towards Sabina.
No, but last night on the news they said it was even on the western part of the county, so it probably got the county all over.
Yeah, and a lot of these they just jump around. They here, then they're here, then they're here. Chatfield College is out where Jake lives. That's out near
68 South down there.
Wow.
I saw this morning.
What is the name of that little town?
Down past.
What's the name of your little town down there, Jake?
Below Midland and.
Yeah.
There was a tornado going through.
Down there off of 251.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching it on a live feed.
Yeah, Chatfield College. It's funny because there's a nice college there, and there used to be a biker bar. I don't know if the biker bar's still there or not. Yeah, it's a mess. I mean,
so I don't understand, how is it that just days apart you have tornadic activity virtually in the same locations? You would think that it would move north or south.
I've got a theory on that.
Look at Xenia, how many times they were hit.
I tell you.
Not getting hit. What is Wilmington becoming the new hotspot?
Well, my theory is, and just a theory, and you can say I'm full of crap if you want. No. This is, I think the interstate highways with all the fumes going up in the air sets up blocks and derails the weather. Because think about all those fumes going up in the air, and have you ever noticed how many times you ever hear a weatherman say, well, north of I-70 they're going to get this today, or south of am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
St. Martin, that's
St.
the name
Martin,
of it. Yeah, that's the name of that little town.
Thanks, Kevin, but
Well, Fayetteville's real close.
Yeah,
Fayetteville's
it's
like
close.
7 miles from St. Martin, maybe. Maybe.
I thought St. Martin was in the Caribbean.
There's a St. Martin there too, but this one is not that one. So I get to clean up a tree today. Although our friend said if you're old like me, you can ask for help and they'll come out and do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, Sabina will take away the tree. I'll probably go out and fiddle around with it a little bit and try to get.
Take your rings off before you.
I am definitely going to take my. Last time I was tearing a tree up, this ring here just went. Lost it. We had to get a metal detector and everything else.
Well, at least you found it.
Yeah, we did, which was a good thing. All right, tariffs. Yesterday we have tariffs. Tony said he wanted to talk about a little politics, so we're going to get him going on that. But they're reciprocal but kind. Isn't that the word you use? These are kind tariffs, because like if you tariff us only 10%, we're only 10% with you. But let's say you're one of those dudes that's 60-some%. Well, we're not reciprocating with 60. We're reciprocating with half, so it'd be about 30%. So, and really, I mean, I think he's just doing this to say, hey, let's play ball. Let's get this back. You know, you want to tariff us, we want to tariff you. Let's at least make them even. And some countries already are saying, let's just do away with them. I saw a guy on there last night, one of the Canadian people, but I don't know. I don't think he was the prime minister, right? He was like,
He was the same guy that said he was going to cut the power off.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's willing to deal, and
Look what the Republicans did. We had those defectors. Those
yeah,
You know.
they didn't think we should be
So
doing
they-
it to
they
Canada.
eliminated the emergency declaration, so they were cutting the legs out from under Trump as far as with Canada.
Yeah, but Israel is willing to come to the table. There's several that are already getting ready to come to the table, so I think it might do what he wanted to do. Tesla fell 13%. Do you have a Tesla?
No.
You're too big. You couldn't get in a
I don't
damn
think
Tesla.
I couldn't fit in it.
13% fell last quarter. Several new bidders, I know we can't live without this, are showing interest in TikTok. Do you have a TikTok thing?
No.
I got one. I'm not sure why, but I got one.
No.
But anyhow, several new bidders, so we'll see what happens, because the deadline again for it is Saturday. But I think they'll extend it again.
Well, they said something about they think they're going to have it done before Saturday.
Yep. Corruption case against Eric Adams, New York, is gone. It won't come back. So we just touch on headlines. We don't do much with the news. BNPL loans are starting to show up on credit reports. This is out of COVID, the buy now, pay later. So if you got one of those loans where, you know, you got the money up front, but you didn't have to pay back for several years, those are starting to show up now.
COVID loans?
Yeah, some of the COVID loans. They're buy now, pay later. So if you start seeing those show up, if you took out a loan during COVID and it was one of those buy now, pay later, the only thing I did like that, and because I wasn't teaching and I wasn't DJing, I wasn't substitute teaching and wasn't DJing, so my sources of income went. But Fifth Third gave you the option to not pay your mortgage for like 6 months. So I took advantage of it. Now I still got paid at the end, but that's the only thing I took advantage of in that. Vicky Kendall, you know Vicky?
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
1977.
Sure do. Yeah. Long time ago.
Just a couple years ago. Switch, Nintendo Switch 2 is going to launch on June 5th. You can go get you a Nintendo Switch, the console type, for $450. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to jump right out and buy one of them?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Cheap, because weren't those consoles getting up to like $1,000?
Well, and this is a small one. See, Nintendo Switches are usually just the little handheld things. But this one I think is a little bit bigger than that because they do call it a console.
Vicky says she was a Wallen.
She was a Wallen, Vicky Wallen.
Yep, I remember her.
You got a good thing you didn't marry her. Her husband the last couple of weeks, man, he had big bruises on one side of his face one day, bruises on the other side of his face the other day. He's a big guy too. She's whipping the crap out of him. All right, guys, here's your first trivia question today. How many billionaires are there on the planet? We'll play high-low. How many billionaires are there on the planet, do you think?
60.
Oh, higher.
You know, there's probably about 285. Way higher.
Higher.
Up in the thousands.
Yes, sir.
Thousands?
Man.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I wish.
a billion's not worth much anymore, is it?
No, it's
No.
not. It's not. It's not as much as it was.
I hope one of them is my long lost relative.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
That we're going to find out about here shortly.
Hey,
Yeah.
is he the mayor? No,
Yeah.
8,000.
not quite that
8,000.
many. I'll give you a couple more guesses.
She says 10.
Less than 10.
Says 3,028.
Vicky is a Googleologist. That's why. That's right. 3,000.
3,028 billionaires.
2781.
Yeah, well, it's been updated, Kevin Martin. See, you're on that Bing. You got to get with Google, Kevin.
Yeah.
He started with Google, but he went to Bing.
No, we said he was Google.
So, found out he was Bing.
And then we found out he was Bing. That's why he's always a day or two behind sometimes. 3,028 billionaires on the planet. I had no clue when I saw that.
Yeah. Wonder where they're all located at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got one in Ohio. I think that he is in Columbus. I think that's the.
Oh, I bet there's more than one in Ohio.
Linder, is that it?
I tell you, you guys, I worked, like I said, I worked Modern Woodman 1 year, which I mainly wanted to sell life insurance because I thought that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, people, they want me to invest money, and I would not feel comfortable investing somebody else's money. So I got out of that. But it is amazing just the money that's around this area.
Yeah.
People come in and want to. Well, not only farmers. I mean, I tell you what, and some of the people that would come in, you think they don't have pots piss in, and they got millions. It's just like, wow, it just amazes you.
Just take a break.
Let's take a break, then we'll come back. I just got two more little news things, and they have to deal with sports.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll come back and do that after the break.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Nursery rhyme historians uncover the truth about Jack and Jill.
There was no hill to climb, and new clues cast doubt on there ever being a pail. What could be next? The tortoise and the hare living together?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. The nursery rhymes may be made up, but the only thing made up here is the news.
That's right, Steve. On the Murphy Report. With a new report every week beginning Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Hard-hitting, cutting edge, and a third less fulfilling.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
A combined 415 years in the news business.
It's made up news you can count on to get you through your day.
And put you to sleep at night, just like me with my warm milk and cookies, and a plethora of heart-related medications.
Plus all the real news on what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
That's on the Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
They don't have enough players. But I remember the one year our reserve baseball team played like 3 games. It was just
Oh, that was it.
get rained out.
Talking about spring weather and spring sports. Yeah, see, I've coached East Clinton. I coached reserve baseball, and I coached varsity softball at Huntington and reserve softball at McLean.
My nephew, he coached down at Huntington girls softball.
Who was that?
Spencer Smith.
Nah, he must have been after me.
He's way after. And
I was like the second softball coach ever there, I think.
He's at Unioto now.
But I was the first one to get wins.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huntington, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You know, I've been down there. He's also a football coach, and Huntington's a nice little school down there.
It is.
It is.
It is. I taught my first 4 years there.
Oh, Huntington. Well, you know, Spencer, he stayed there for quite a while, and then
The head coach when I was there was Ted Lehue. I don't know if you remember that guy
I
or
don't
not.
remember him.
Ted Lehue, Brett Mavis was a baseball coach. You know Brett?
Brett Mavis,
Yeah, Sam Toppins.
I remember that, Brett Mavis.
Yeah, Toppins was the reserve coach. All right, just a couple more little news things, but these do have to do with sports. UFC, you ever watch any UFC?
You know, no, I haven't, Charlie. I'm not into that too much.
I'm not either. But they have just made a big deal with Meta, and it's millions upon millions of a sponsorship deal with them. Then I threw this on there. L.A. De La Cruz, did you see the catch he made yesterday?
Boy, that was something else. He ran.
Oh my gosh.
Man, Charlie, he ran a long, long way and then backhanded it.
And, did a flip.
And still caught it.
Crazy. That guy, you talk about just natural born ability. He's got it, doesn't he?
And you know, and sometimes when I see a play like that, I wonder what he could do out in center field.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't want him there. You want him as short. You know, you want him fielding most of that stuff. Now the other thing, and I just threw this on there too because I knew you were coming in. What's your feelings on the torpedo bat?
Well, I am a firm believer you can have anything, but the man still has to swing it. You got to have.
That's right. Still a round bat.
Yeah.
Still a round ball.
You know what? I think probably a lot of players have said it, but Pete Rose said it best is like you got a round bat and a round ball, and you got to hit it square.
Right.
And it's like you still have to have good hands and eyes.
That's
or
the main
else
thing.
you're going to be a 200 hitter. It don't matter what you use.
Right.
Some guys could use a telephone pole and they still couldn't hit it. Yeah.
And now did you play college baseball?
No, you know, it was back in the day when Southern State, my old Legion coach, old Dick Schaefer from Hillsboro, he's pretty well known in the southern parts. And when I got done playing Legion, he started the college, and then I played a year, and then that's when back then we just started going to work every day.
Right.
And that's, I think back then is about around that time that I met my wife, so baseball took a back seat.
Yep.
So then I started just playing a little softball, and then I really got into umpiring not too long after that. And started doing some high school baseball umpiring. That kept me pretty close to the game and travel all over.
Yeah, I knew I used to umpire also.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
You're not still doing that, are you?
No, I just retired just a few years. I finished my 40th year of baseball a couple years ago. I had a couple eye surgeries. And I thought, this is enough. And you know, too, with baseball, you get all ready. I was a type of umpire, you get prepared for like you're playing.
Right.
And then you get rained out.
Right.
And then you get rained out. Yeah. And then
Or snowed out.
Yeah, we've been snowed out before. I remember coaching at the college. We were playing John Carroll up from Cleveland down here. We got the first game in, and the second game got snowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I enjoyed about basketball. I also did basketball for about probably 25 years.
First game I ever umpired, I umpired at Jamestown with a guy named Jerry Quickle. You remember Jerry
No,
Quickle?
I don't remember him.
And we're right in the middle of the game, and by God, it's starting to snow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
this is nuts. Of course, I umpired a lot with Chuck McMillan. You remember Chuck?
McMillan, yeah, I did.
And Jerry Runk.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I remember when I first, started out, Chuck, he was still doing it.
He did it for 100 years.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys I always call the guy that does all the different jobs. You know,
Yeah.
he's a bus driver, taxi cab driver, Pizza Hut.
I think Chuck, he would drive the teams to the away games, then get out and then umpire, and then get back in.
I don't know if that would have been too good or not.
Yeah. But he was a good old guy.
I saw on Facebook the other day, I'm not sure where it was, but they had one bus, and each team that was playing each other was on that bus.
Yeah.
They had one team in the back, one team in the front. So I don't know if it was like a Lakota deal, like, Lakota East, West type of thing, and
Probably
they just took
across
one
town.
bus.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't get bus drivers hardly anymore.
No, a lot. I know when I was coaching down at Leesburg, they would always call and say, hey, most high school games start at 5, and
Right.
they would say, well, we probably won't get there till 5:30, and then, had trouble getting drivers, and they had to do the route, and
Right.
but then finally you get started, and then in the springtime, by 6:30 or so, it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
It was nice at 4 o'clock.
Right.
And then the temperature drops, and
Sometimes you had to delay the game because of night.
Oh yeah.
I tell you one thing I've done a couple of times this spring, and I've really enjoyed it because we had good weather. Me and my wife, we went up and watched Ohio State play baseball.
Oh, I bet it. Yeah.
And you know what? We sat behind home plate, and we got tickets. You have to buy tickets for them off Ticketmaster, but fees and everything, we were under $20 for 2 tickets.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And if you get a chance, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It is. They played at 3 o'clock. They played Eastern Michigan. The only bad part about that game is like 4 hours because no pitching.
Yeah.
Ohio State, even Eastern Michigan had great defense, pretty good bats.
Yeah.
But my God, I bet they had 10 pitching changes.
Is that right?
And that
Yeah.
just took forever.
They say, I've never watched Ohio State baseball, but they're pretty good. Now I've seen UC play.
They're
Cincinnati.
selling out sometimes.
And then
yeah.
I've even umpired down at UC. I've done the Bearcats.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Now, Wright State, they've got a good team.
Oh yeah.
And you can go there for free.
Oh yeah. It's a really
It doesn't cost a dime.
I've coached over there and umpired over there, and it's a really, really nice stadium, just really small compound.
Easy to get into.
Easy to get in and out, and the locker rooms are nice. And they've had some really good players that get drafted come out of there.
Yeah, their home record's a lot better than their away record this year. But they have been playing some stout competition on the road this year.
Oh yeah.
At home, they were, I think, maybe have only lost one game the last time I checked. We saw them play Toledo, and they won against Toledo. But yeah, it was nice and decent little crowd.
Oh yeah.
It probably, I don't know, it was probably comparable to what Ohio State had that day even.
Yeah, it's really nice place. I know when I was coaching at the college, although we're Division III, I'd get a hold of the Wright State coach, and he'd, come over and everything. So we would go over, and he wouldn't throw one of his top 6 pitchers,
Right.
Because if they throw their 1 or 2s, you might as well forget
Right.
it. We're not hitting them.
Right.
But we had a really, really good time. Just to tell you a quick story real quick.
Oh, please, that's why you're here, yeah.
I had this freshman pitcher from Miami Trace, Bryce DeWeese.
Okay.
And we go over. I'll never forget. And little lefty, really, I mean, a baseball player. Matter of fact, so his dad, we played against one another in school and stuff at Trace in Wilmington. Bryce was tearing Wright State up. They couldn't touch him.
Wow.
Couldn't touch him. And for 7 innings, I mean, we're winning like 4-1 and just everything. And it's like, how you feel, Bryce? I'm good. So he walked a couple in the bottom of the 8th. So I took him out. But anyhow, they ended up beating us. But that coach started recruiting him. And the dad called and he said, hey, Bryce is thinking about going to Wright State. And I said, well, Jeff, think about it. Wilmington College or Wright State, you're going to travel. And it's going to be first class. I said, if I'm Bryce, I'm going to Wright State too.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no hard feelings or anything. But
Right.
that's what I remember about Wright State, though. But they were good baseball, really good.
But you have the big fish, little pond thing here too,
yeah.
because he was a big fish in the Wilmington College.
Oh,
pond,
yeah, you
where he
could
might be a
tell.
little fish in the big pond up there.
Yeah, by the time he would have got done playing with us, I mean, and then, of course, Wright State made him a strictly pitcher. But for me, he pitched and also played center field
Right.
and led off. That's how good he was as a freshman. But
So you
but,
just
yeah.
had him 1 year. And he
I
went
had him
on.
1 year, and then
Did you play Wright State again after that?
you know, yeah, we always did. But but yeah, it's a really nice place to play over there.
It is.
And plus, it's not that far.
No.
It's just real, like you say, Charlie, it's real easy to get to.
I think we have internet back. 40 minutes, it's like a 40-minute drive from here.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, and we want to hear more of your stories. That's why you're on here today.
All right.
And we're glad because it's just me and you. You're going to get to tell all of your stories.
I can't, like they say, though, as many years go by and the stories get bigger and bigger, I think.
Kind of like fish.
Yeah, kind of like the fish.
Kind of like fish. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to get on here and share the show, and we'll get you now on Wilmington Community Broadcasting, and you can see it too.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
Take a break.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Donuts. Getting a makeover and a name change.
It's every baker's nightmare. Buckling to the snowflake social media pressure, America's tasty glazed treats will now be known as doughy, emotionally compromised yeast rings.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Why wait for real news when you can get all the made-up news you need?
Along with the facts about Ohio's hometown theater, the Murphy.
On the Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
I have tried so hard to cut back on my daily doughy, emotionally compromised yeast rings intake.
Really, Steve? No one has noticed. And I mean no one.
The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal, personal.
Olivia.
With Dr. Jeffrey Schusler and Sarah Play Me Like a Piccolo Fife. Sundays from 5 to 8. Sundays, fun days. If you are single and would like some dating advice or some interpersonal relationship help, both of these people have psychological backgrounds of some sort. We just haven't figured it out yet. Exactly. But it's going to be on 5 to 8 on Sundays, and they are here to help. We're going to have several editions. We're going to have the young people edition. We're going to have the geriatric edition, and we're also going to have the Sasquatch edition, where you have to have so much body hair to be on that show.
All right.
That's a joke. Tony's like, God, is he serious?
All right.
Guy Durham, good to see you on here. Guy, we've had storms up here. I think you had them yesterday too. He's out in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
Watching. Yeah, they had them too. But I had a big tree. If you look at my Facebook page, I got a big. I mean, I got a big limb down, and I'm gonna go out and have fun cutting it up a little bit. But
Those pine trees don't stand a chance in the spring.
I'm gonna get. I'm probably gonna get one of my friends over and let him do all the heavy work. I'm just gonna do the light work here. Okay, so I like giving you guys a little get your minds going here. All right. So I got a little trivia question. First of all, you're following the tournament, right?
Oh yeah, it's been.
So who do you like in the Final Four?
Well, everybody's going with Duke, and I kind of like Houston, but I can't really remember. Rick will have to look it up. The last time all 4 teams are the number 1 seeds.
2011.
Is that when it was? Yeah. And so, you could bet on any one of them, and if they're hot, Saturday night.
Houston was freaking impressive.
They look good. I kind of like Duke.
Duke look good too.
I don't know if anyone compare that Cooper Flagg's the next Larry Bird. That's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
But
He's good.
But he's good.
He's only a freshman.
Freshmen. They're good. So I'm gonna have to take a nap Saturday afternoon to stay up and watch both games. I think.
Yeah, I tell you, my heart is wanting to go with Houston. Just from watching them play last week. My gosh, they seemed like they were just ferocious on defense.
Yeah, they do.
JD, hey JD, how you doing? Hey, if you're bored, why don't you go over and cut my tree up, JD?
Tell him he can have all the wood.
You can have all the wood. I even got.
Oh yeah.
I even got extra wood in the back. He can have.
Now, what about on the female side of the brackets there?
I don't even know. Well, you got to go with Dawn Staley, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
Connecticut.
I kind of like, Paige Becker's there, Connecticut. And, with Calhoun, they asked him the other night why he didn't cut the nets down. He says, that's old hat. He said, we've done that before. He said, Final 8. He said, we're going to cut the nets down big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm partial to her. I want to see her win a championship as well.
I really don't care.
But
who wins it? But I don't know. Just Staley being there, but the Connecticut guy's been there 100 times too.
Yeah.
Now that Kenny, what's Kenny's last name on the broadcast for the Final Four? You know who I'm talking about?
For CBS?
Yeah. What's his last name? Kenny. I thought this was interesting because he had won a couple NBA championships.
Kenny Smith.
Smith.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said last week?
No, Kenny the Jet. No, but him and Charles Barkley and Shaq,
They're a
they
hoot.
have the best TV show going. I
they're
think.
a hoot.
You never
Yeah.
know what Charles is going to say.
No.
Kenny Smith, in the NBA, they don't cut the nets down. But he did.
Oh,
The
yeah.
2 years that he won it, he got a ladder out there and,
And cut the nets.
cut down both nets on each side because he never got to do it in college. So he went out and did it.
Makes sense.
It's kind of crazy.
Going to stop him, right?
Yeah. He played at North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to remember, but yeah. But they had some really good teams back then.
Well, I've got a final 4 question for you guys. I got a final 4 questions. So here we go. There have been 6 number 11 seeds to make the final 4. So can you tell me?
I can't name one.
Yeah.
I bet you can name you. He says that, then he'll zip right through some of these games and just rip them up.
Number 11?
There's 6 number 11 seeds that have made the final 4. I tell you, the last one that wait a minute,
Gonzaga?
no, but the last one that did it was last year.
Yeah. And I can't.
Last year?
Big heavy set guy played for him.
Yeah.
Big heavy set guy played for him.
And they won the national championship.
No, they were in the final 4.
They Final Four.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
That's
final
gonna make it
4.
even harder, Charlie.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you.
Can't even remember
I
back.
will give you hints.
All right. We're waiting.
Well, the one that did it last year had this real big, heavy set black kid play for him, and he was a center. Well,
Yeah.
that should help you. That helping Tony, I can tell.
Yeah, it is. I'm drawing a blank.
Where
I'm
did
drawing
Kenny
a blank
Smith? Where
right
did
now.
Kenny Smith go to school?
From North Carolina
Okay, it's not North Carolina, but it's North Carolina
State.
State.
Really?
Yeah, North Carolina State.
I don't even remember
They were.
being in the tournament. Like
Yeah, yep. They went a lot farther because they were 11 seed.
Yeah.
So you got one. All right.
You call us getting that?
Yeah.
I gave you credit for that.
right.
All right. The next one was in 2021, out west.
Gonzaga.
No, south of Gonzaga.
That would have been my guess, because Gonzaga, they for a while there, they were.
They were pretty good, but
Yeah.
I think they
South.
would always get, first or second seed.
The coach that coaches there now is from this local area. He used to coach in this local area.
So what part of the country is this team from,
Miller.
Charlie?
No.
The west?
West, yeah, out west, southwest.
Southwest?
New Mexico State.
No.
California?
California. But what school?
Oh, UCLA.
UCLA. Yeah. See, you guys.
UCLA, yeah.
I can lead you guys to water.
Kevin Martin got it.
Nick Cronin.
Yeah, Mick Cronin. Boy, he had a meltdown this year, didn't
Boy,
he?
he did. Yeah. Yeah, he sure did.
All right, the next one was in 2018, and I'll just give you the hint that will get that right answer. Sister Mary.
So you're saying it's a Catholic institution?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not Marquette.
No.
It's
LM.
OP.
No, there'd be an N in there. LM. Sister Mary Margaret. She's at all the games. She blessed the team, and
yeah.
So
she's like 110
I
years
want to
old.
say Lloyd Marymount.
That's it.
That's it.
Huh?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it, Loyola. Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I can remember.
2018, Loyola Marymount. Now the next one we gotta go.
Became a rock star.
We gotta go clear back to 2011. The Rams. Think East.
Rams on the East.
Yeah. Rams on East. 3 letters.
Ivy League school?
Atlantic 10.
And Rhode Island.
No.
Rams.
No. I think they're the Rams. If they're not the Rams, I'm wrong. But 3 letters.
3 letters for their name?
VCI.
VCU. Yeah, VCU. Virginia.
Yeah.
They're the Rams, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they are the Rams.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right. The next one is 2006.
This is like facing a
Well, you guys are sports guys.
that's throwing the
Joe Davis. I'm setting it up on. I'm setting that ball up on a tee for you guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, yeah. At least Charlie's giving us some really good clues, Rick.
This university is a man's name.
A man's name?
Yep.
Like John?
Yep, but it's not John. There's another hint.
What part of the country? Give us a part of the country.
There's another hint.
A ring.
Yeah, but what kind of ring?
Mason? John Mason.
Not John.
George Mason.
George Mason. There you go.
Is that right?
Yep, 2006.
I can't even think.
Then the last
Who
one,
was
1986. Our favorite quarterback went to school where?
Our favorite quarterback? Joe Burrow?
Yes.
LSU?
LSU. 1986 was 11 seed.
Huh.
There you go. Aren't you glad you came on?
Yeah. But you know something, when that tournament does start up though, even, won it last year, the 16, or last couple years when the 16 seed beat the number one seed.
Yeah.
But you know those teams that get hot during tournament time.
Yeah. And it happens.
I think that's why probably Vegas does so well, because anybody can win.
Yeah.
You know.
True. I tell you, do you do any of the sports gambling?
No.
I tell you, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Teresa, how you doing, Teresa? How's Jeff? Hopefully he's all right.
Isn't she running the Department of Education?
Teresa McMahon, yeah, she could be. She'd be better than Linda McMahon, probably.
Bill's on.
Bill Lehrman, there you go. LSU, coached by Dale Brown.
Yeah.
Thanks for the,
Hey, I thought you were supposed to be at work.
thanks for the Buckeyes, Bill.
And Rick say he got a donut, and I ain't get no donut. What the hell, Lehrman? Every time he brings food for everybody else. He brings Sprite, and he knows I'm diabetic. I can't eat it.
Yeah.
He brings I will eat a Buckeye before I leave today, though. Deanne's Buckeyes are up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will get one of those.
Yeah, they're good.
They are good.
I've had them.
Let's see, where were we going?
Good question, but we got a break.
We got a break anyhow, but when we come back, we want to hear some stories from either your playing days,
All right.
your coaching days, or your security days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You remember did that?
Enforcer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a red
I
security.
was red security guard. Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yeah. Hey, so this isn't on.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Local religious leaders pondering taking Sundays off.
Holy Toledo, Batman. Are religious holidays next on the chopping block?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Investigative reporting. It's what we do, sometimes on the Murphy Report.
Nothing is off limits in our newsroom, except baby turtles.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel.
Amanda, did you know that I once felt I had a calling and gave serious consideration to joining the priesthood?
Oh, I can see that. You seem sincere, spiritual sort of person, not wrapped up in the petty trappings of society, littered with ego and vanity. What made you decide not to do it?
I don't look good in black.
Amen to that. The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection.
Who says living with labels is a bad thing? Especially bright, easy to read labels with a large font.
When one man's drinking fountain is another man's bidet.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
All the pretend news to fill your day.
Trust your most unreliable source.
The Murphy Report. Made up stories almost like these and real stories on what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
Every Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
You know, Amanda, I label just about everything in my house, even my clothes, even my shoes. One shoe I have labeled R, and the other shoe I have labeled NR.
NR?
Not right.
You're not right.
The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
I tell you what, because like I said, we've already sent out the olive branch, the invitation for you to come back. But what's one of your favorite playing days, memories?
Man, yeah, that's kind of.
Well, that's why I just asked for one. What's one? Not a bunch, just one.
Probably really coaching at the college in my early, I was 40, and the coach left right before.
Was that Brooks?
No, the guy after him. And I remember Terry Rupert. I just heard about it, and I went over and introduced myself to him.
Right.
Because you're allowed to play fall ball. And he says, hey, we're looking for somebody just to coach them in the fall.
Right.
And just, do what you want. Coach them in the fall. We'll pay you a little bit. And then we're going to find someone. And I was like, all right. And I remember my first day. So now I'm still working for the state highway department. And I'd get off and we'd go to practice. And I was thinking, man, I'm getting paid to hit ground balls and fly balls and, watch some inter-squad college players, and it was really fun. And I guess at the time, Wilmington wasn't very good at all.
Right.
They would only win really 4 or 5 games.
Right.
And when that fall was over, I said, well, Terry, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I said, if you can't, find someone, I said, I'd be interested in doing it. He said, that's all right. He said, we'll probably get a football coach or somebody. And I'll never
nice
forget.
of him, yeah.
And then it wasn't a week or two later, and he said, hey, you being interested? And I said, well, sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I stayed there for 13 years. And so, but
were you there
early,
that long? 13 years.
Early,
wow.
It was fun. And then it got, when you win, it's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, you always have a chance. When you have a chance to win, but it seemed like towards the end, the OAC got tougher because when I first started, we was in the Heartland, right, and then we moved to the OAC, which is
a lot harder.
Yeah, a lot harder. I mean, the OAC schools are bigger than Wilmington, and but it was really fun. But playing, I really had, my brother Tim and I, we traveled over the country playing softball and stuff.
Right.
And that was really fun. But I had some really good teachers, though. I got to play for my dad as Little League. And then even when we were playing, so we got to play together. And then, of course, before I played for Dick Schaefer and down at Hillsboro. And he was just a great coach also. And then I umpired. He was still coaching the Legion team when I got into umpiring.
Okay.
And I would.
Did you ever give him the hook?
Yeah, and I would go down. But I learned a lot from him that really helped me coaching at the college and at Leesburg. Because after I got done at the college, I coached high school at Leesburg, which was, I would say that's some of my funnest times also.
Yeah.
Was at Leesburg Fairfield.
You get to watch
the
a lot
play.
of growth.
It's just so neat. And you know, like those kids, man, they just love baseball like I did. You know, when you have a passion, you know, I always had a passion for the game.
Yep.
And you know, there's a lot of times players, they don't have that passion, and they're hard to coach when they don't have that same passion as you do.
Right.
But I'll say down at Leesburg, those kids did. They were just, it was really, really, really fun.
But I think that's harder in today's world too, because there's so much competition for their time.
Oh, it is.
You know.
It's just,
You know, you
yeah.
got the girls and yeah, that's one thing. Toad Weichel, you remember Toad Weichel?
I don't
The
think
crippled
so.
guy in Sabine always watched the softball games. Hey, he rode like one of those chariots.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Toad.
Now I remember.
But
Yeah.
he used to work Ted Klaszewski's camp all the time.
Down at Bainbridge. Yeah.
And he was a big baseball guy. He always
Yeah.
used to say, girls and cars and girls, that's what'll mess you guys up when
Yeah.
you go play baseball.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
still remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, when you played softball, what was the name of your softball team?
Well, probably our biggest name is they had a team from Lima. It was called the Steel Sports Company.
Okay.
They had their own gloves and bats, and probably we're known for playing with them. And
Okay.
we played with a lot of Columbus teams, and you know, and
Yeah, you didn't mess
we
around
traveled.
around here, did you?
No, we traveled.
You had to go out and play with the big boys.
We would, you know, on our off days. We had back then the park had an adult men's league,
Right.
and we would get our friends and
Right.
we would play one night. But, you know, come to think of it though, one of the probably best times that I enjoyed the most out of anything is if Timmy and I if we were off that weekend, we didn't have to go to Florida or somewhere.
Yeah.
We would play in a co-ed tournament. And,
Oh,
and
there you
Ann
go.
and Amy, my sisters, would play,
Yeah.
and Johnny and our husbands and wives, and that was some of the best times with Ann, my sister Ann and Amy, because they were really, really good. But it was really fun.
So you guys never came in and played with like the Rebels or any
Well,
of those
we
guys?
would play like we
against
wouldn't play any tournaments or nothing like that. But like in the local leagues, we would play against their teams and
Yeah.
stuff.
Because Rebels and then Sabina had a good team
Yeah,
too.
Sabina,
West Side.
West Side.
Steve Olds, remember Steve Olds?
Steve Olds, yes.
Coach
yeah.
that team.
And Noel Bean, I think.
Yeah, he was involved in it.
Yeah. That's some really good times, and just go out and play all day.
Yeah.
And you know what?
But they used to have these tournaments on the weekends.
Yeah,
you could
and
do
just
that.
play all the time, and that's what irritates me about these pro baseball players or even basketball. It's like they can't play every day. And you know, back in the day,
no double headers anymore, hardly.
yeah, you know, those guys played 162 games. That's like one record of never ever. I don't see ever being broke. Is Cal
Ripken, yeah.
because those guys aren't going to play every day.
No.
They're not going to play every day.
Well, you know, Bill was on here before, and yeah, we used to talk about how the Reds used to have their basketball team and go out and play.
Yeah.
And even the Bengals would have their basketball team come out and play, like different faculties and stuff.
You know, I can remember it was during the big Red Machine. The Reds, Rose, and one of their coaches now is their shortstop then was Freddie Benavides, I think. Remember him?
Yep.
They came up to Wilmington College.
I was there.
And they played.
I was a little kid.
Yeah, and they played then. And then I remember when Joe Oliver, with the 90s team, they came and played at the high school. And then the local guy, Jeff Shaw from Worcester Courthouse, when he pitched, my brother Timmy and I, he brought a Reds team up to Courthouse, and they played the alumni up there. And Timmy and I, we got to ref it.
Oh, wow.
And it was really fun.
There you go.
But I can remember some of those guys. You know, some of the baseball players, of course, you know, major leaguers, but some of them weren't very good at basketball at all.
Yeah.
But then some of them, I'll never forget Joe Oliver, the catcher. he was just outstanding basketball player. But yeah, I remember going up the courthouse and reffing when Jeff Shaw and them.
Remember Lee May playing down here at Wilmington College?
Yeah, I sure
He was
did.
with the Astros then, though. They traded him. And Jack Billingham, Pete Rose played. It was pretty neat stuff. It was.
And then, now in their contracts, like, well, we better not do that. Someone gets hurt.
Hey, even the professional football Pro Bowl, I mean, they don't even play it anymore.
They don't even know.
They do
It's
that
like,
stupid flag stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather just see them not even have a game, just honor them and say the heck with it.
Yeah.
But they won't make that money, but somebody could get hurt
You could.
just as easy playing flag.
Well, they say the other night Freddie Freeman didn't play with the Dodgers because he slipped in his shower in his house.
Yeah.
So you can turn an ankle walking down the sidewalk.
Well, that's like Scotty Scheffler cut his finger cooking for his kids. He's a golfer.
Yeah.
You know. You golfer also?
No, I'm a hacker. I'm a weekend
Probably hit the
hacker.
crap out
I'm
of
not. I'm not a serious golfer by any means. It's way too hard for me.
Now, did you play? And I'm kind of reminiscing back when I was a little kid, since you are much older than me.
Yeah, I sure am.
No, I'm teasing. You're 7 years older than me, right?
Yeah.
You're 6'7"?
Yeah, 66. I just
66, yeah.
turned
Well,
66
you're
a couple of
years
days.
older than
Yeah.
me. But did you ever play in those men's basketball leagues?
Oh yeah,
Man, those were fun, weren't
Oh,
they?
they were. I was just little, and when I was little, and so back in the day, well, you're a hometown boy. I remember Phil Snow playing.
Oh my!
And Gary Reinhardt. They had a local team here in Wilmington. Junior Rollins.
Junior Rollins.
And I thought, man, oh man.
Superior Carpet.
Superior Carpet.
Remember?
And I can remember, and another Clinton County Hall of Famer, Dale Jones.
Yeah.
He played. And when you're 13, 14, you thought those guys were NBA players.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, man.
Well, Phil Snow almost could have.
Yeah, and I can remember Phil shooting. Man, that guy he could shoot.
Here's what I remember about him. My dad and I were just setting up the stands. I'm a little nose picker at that time. And Phil Snow crossed the half court line, pop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just 9 times out of 10, once he stepped across half court, it was in.
Yeah, they were good. But I remember going around watching them play. But nowadays they don't do that anymore.
I love watching that when I was a little kid.
Yeah, it was good.
We just walk because it wasn't bad talent.
No, there was just some. I think some of those guys, they were. Back then they were good. Well, of course, Phil went to college. A lot of them went to college, but some of them are tired of it, and so they didn't. Go on. Back then a lot of them had to go to work and stuff.
You're right. Don Ward, hopefully you didn't get blown away. He runs a great food truck down Hillsborough, pork.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you ever see Don's food truck out, he usually comes up to the food truck rallies they have out at Dove Church. Yeah.
Those
will be coming up at the end of the month.
Pam and I, we go out there, once a week and get something out of food
Becker's.
trucks. Yeah.
Becker's got some good food out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, nice days. It's pretty well lined up out there.
All right, well, it's 9 o'clock, so we're going to take a little break. We're going to hear more stories from Tony. We are going to do birthdays. We'll probably just do the birthday list today, the celebrity birthdays. We probably won't do the other game today unless somebody else shows up. And if somebody else shows up, we may do it. But we'll hold that list till tomorrow. That gives me less work to do for tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, we got bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The State Highway Patrol's coming on. Oh, yeah. And Jerry Keplinger will be on. And Jerry usually helps host the show.
Is that right?
And
yeah.
He got rear-ended by a state patrolman here about a month ago. And it was the lieutenant. It was the big cheese out there.
And right in the back of it.
Yeah. rear-ended him. So that's going to be an interesting conversation tomorrow. We'll be back in a minute.
A major shakeup in the pharmaceutical industry as Flintstone Vitamins taken to task for tasting nothing like Fred or Wilma.
And as for Pebbles, well, she's already a fruity breakfast cereal. Why dietitians and nutritionists coast to coast are warning us to yabba dabba don't when it comes to ingesting these chalky childhood chewables.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Looking out for your health and well-being is just a sample of the kind of made-up news you can expect on the Murphy Report.
Earning the reputation as the mistrusted name in news isn't something that we take lightly.
In fact, most wouldn't take it at all.
And our efforts reflect that, with a trophy case in our lobby filled wall to wall with empty shelves.
Let the other outlets vie for trophies and your respect.
We're simply too busy making it up to care for such accolades, with a new report posted every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel.
The Murphy Report, with veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. Nursery rhyme historians uncover the truth about Jack and Jill.
There was no hill to climb, and new clues cast doubt on there ever being a pail. What could be next? The tortoise and the hare living together?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. The nursery rhymes may be made up, but the only thing made up here is the news.
That's right, Steve. On the Murphy Report, with a new report every week beginning Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Hard-hitting, cutting-edge, and a third less fulfilling.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
A combined 415 years in the news business.
It's made-up news you can count on to get you through your day.
And put you to sleep at night, just like me with my warm milk and cookies. And a plethora of heart-related medications.
Plus all the real news on what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
That's on the Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
They just left it, and I thought, that won't be there long. And sure enough, that weekend, the truck pulled up and
Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal. Live Sundays, 5 to 8 p.m. with your host, Dr. Sheffrey. Do you know Dr. Schuessler?
No.
He's a foot doctor.
Really?
And I tell you what, if you ever need to go to foot doctor, he's the man.
Where's he at?
Right here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
And he spent an hour and a half with me and give me some free insoles. He's really, I mean, if you ever need to go, I mean, he's worth the money. He doesn't take insurance, but it was reasonable enough.
Yeah.
You only go once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And then his host, Sarah, played me like a piccolo. They're going to host this single show.
Oh, really?
So if you got any daughters or sons you want to get married off, or they think they need some interpersonal relationship advice, have them get in touch with Rick. You have to be 19 and over. They're going to have 3 different divisions. They're going to have the geriatric division, the young people edition, and then just for fun, the Sasquatch edition. Well, some of those people might qualify for 2 of those divisions. Hopefully, none of the women qualify for the Sasquatch edition, but you never know. You never know. All right, we do have some local birthdays today. By the way, it's still 64 degrees. The temperature has not changed. It doesn't look like it's raining right at the moment. I think it's supposed to rain some today. It's supposed to rain the next 3 days. Ann Reno is 57 today. Greg Gray, happy birthday to you, Greg, 71. Candy Blaze McCrae is 45 today. Candy is an interesting girl. She has her own body shop and engine shop up in northern Ohio. Huh? Ashland, yeah. Ashland, yeah. And Ashley Gregory, it's her birthday today, 40. Jennifer Klaus, 39. B. Funk, 27. Robbie Kazak, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, 51. Kimberly Gallahue is her birthday today. And Cody Hendershot. Now, we play a little high-low game every day.
All right.
On celebrity birthdays. So I will give you the celebrity, and you guys kind of guess back and forth till we figure out how old they are. The first one, everybody's friend, everybody knows him, Wayne Newton. Vegas entertainer, Wayne Newton. And plus, we have people at home sometimes will guess.
I'm going to say Wayne Newton, 90, 88. He is 91.
Too high, too high.
88.
88.
Lower than 88.
What?
69.
No, higher than 69. He's in his 80s.
80s.
He's in his 80s.
86.
A little lower.
And he was
83.
83.
Yeah, 83.
Well, I remember he used to say when he was in Vegas, him and Elvis knew one another.
Probably.
And so Elvis would have been 90, I think, this year.
Yep. So, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. Alec, don't shoot me, Baldwin.
Yeah.
He's like 72.
Younger, but you're in the ballpark.
I was going to say, he's probably around me. He's about
He is
60,
around you.
About 68.
Just a little lower.
Yep.
67.
67. There you go.
67, yeah.
Eddie Murphy. Joe Holdren.
Joe,
Eddie Murphy.
he's been around a while.
Yep. He's close to you.
I was going to say he's in his 60s probably. I'm going to say 63.
Just a little higher.
67.
4.
64, thank you. I can give you the hint, just a little higher. Marcia Mason.
I'm just going on what Dickie said.
Marcia Mason. Of 67, that was
Marcia
for
Mason.
Alec Baldwin. Marcia Mason was an actress. Remember, she was in like The Goodbye Girl with Richard Dreyfuss years ago. Marcia Mason, actress, older. This.
I'm going to let Rick do that one. I don't know.
Marcia Mason,
Yeah.
78.
Higher than 78. Think Wayne Newton.
84.
Just a little lower.
83.
83, there you go. Gonna tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Tony Orlando. How old is Tony Orlando?
92.
Oh, he's less than that.
90.
88.
Less than 88. In the 80s, though.
81.
81, that's right, 81. All right, you guys will probably have to ask me, but I do know
Who
this
is
one.
this person?
Mick Mars. You know who Mick Mars is?
Never heard of him.
He is a guitar player for Motley Crue.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we know that.
You've heard Motley Crue.
Yeah, I've heard of Motley Crue.
Well, he's one of the guitar players. There you go. So you've heard of him.
So we're going to guess
Marley, he's
85.
Oh, no, a lot lower. A lot lower.
Lower?
Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't those Motley Crue all old?
They're not
Yeah.
they're not old as the Stones. That's Stones' age here.
71.
Very close. You're in the ballpark. It's lower.
69.
There you go. 69. There you go. All right, now this one I'll be interested to see if you do have to ask who this one is. Because I knew who it was, which kind of surprised me. David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Well, he was on Frasier. Wasn't that
Frasier,
Frasier's younger
yeah.
brother?
Wasn't that a comedy show?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just,
He's about 57.
he's older.
Is he?
He's older than me.
64.
Just older a little bit.
66?
Yeah, 66.
Is that right?
66.
Yep, I do remember him.
Now, I think this girl was a skier, but if I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me. Peekaboo Street.
Yes, he was a
Skier. Olympic
Yeah, Olympic,
skier.
right.
skier. Yeah. She's still not that old, though.
Yeah, she's younger than all of us,
I'd say
which isn't saying a whole
she's
lot.
probably like 41.
Oh, no.
No,
Older
I
than
was going to say about 51.
Well, 51 is just a little low. Well, not just a little low, but low.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Blonde? Peekaboo?
I don't know.
I think she was blonde.
I'm
Yeah.
just glad to remember she was a skier.
Yeah.
And, so how old is
Over 51.
55. Double nickels.
Just a little lower.
54.
54. There you go.
54.
All right. Some people that have passed away that were born on this day. Gus Grissom, astronaut. Marlon Brando, the Godfather. And Que sera, 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 whatever will be, will be. That's not Julie Andrews.
Drawing a blank.
DD, double D.
Double D?
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Not Dolly Parton, no. Double D. Doris Day.
Doris Day.
Doris Day. Yeah.
They always tried to pit her with, who was the star opposite her usually in the movies and things?
Richard Burton?
He was really gay.
Yeah, was that Richard Burton?
No.
Cary Grant?
Cary Grant?
No.
Wasn't it Richard Burton?
No.
It's somebody in that timeline.
Yeah.
A brain cramp.
Yeah.
A brain cramp.
Kevin Martin, who starred with Doris Day in all her movies. Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson.
That's it. He
Yep.
was gay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
Rock
that.
Hudson.
But no one knew, but he was,
Yeah.
so masculine and
Yeah.
Well, back in the day,
with a name like Rock.
that was taboo. You know,
Yeah.
you don't. And
Yeah.
there's still people to this day that were brought up that way. You don't know it because they're
Yeah.
not going to tell you. Where the younger generation, it's like, look at me.
Whatever.
Yeah, even professional sports athletes come out
Yeah.
and say it. I don't know. Not me. Not interested.
But that's good, Charlie.
I'm just saying. All right, so Mr. Haley, I think it's great you're here today.
All right. Yeah.
I think you should give us some more stories here of either playing or. Now you did security, right? How many years did you do security
You know,
for
I
Reds?
just did it 1 year.
Oh, just 1 year.
That was when, just real quick, I have one that, so that's when
Well, Pat was
my
in it.
uncle Pat, that's
Yeah.
now mayor, he was head of security for this stuff. You know, you've been to a Reds game
What
where,
was the name of that security agency? You remember, offhand?
yeah, it was called Cal Crim Security.
Calcrim. Okay.
Cal Crim, that is probably out of Cincinnati, but
Yeah.
But anyhow, my first one of my jobs was I had to stand outside the locker room when all the players came in.
Yep.
And they all had their badge, and
Right.
even the media after a game would show a badge. So, and matter of fact, so my dad, he did the visitors clubhouse,
Oh, neat. Okay.
and he remembers telling stories about Tommy Lasorda with the Dodgers and stuff. But anyhow, I did that, and then Pat said, "Hey, I need you to do the field today." So my
Yeah.
job was you stand by the dugout,
Right.
and in between innings, you just
Go out there and stand.
and look
Face
at the
the
fans,
crowd,
face
yeah.
the crowd, and you know, in case somebody jumped the fence.
Yeah.
And we always had to get there real early.
Did you ever have to chase anybody down?
You know, never did. Never, no one ever had to jump the fence or anything.
Oh, you're lucky.
But I remember I was standing because I used to tell some of my baseball players. I was standing there. This was in '89, right before the World Series.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I was standing there watching them take batting practice because we had to be there real early.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this guy, I heard him say, "Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy." And I turned around, and it's Pete Rose.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey." And he said, "You got an ink pen on you?" I said, "Yeah, I sure do." So I took it out of my pocket, and I threw it to him. I mean, we're only 3 or 4 feet away.
Right.
So I threw it to him, and he made his lineup out that day
With your ink pen.
with my ink pen.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
So then I continued watching batting practice, you know, and everything. And all of a sudden he said, "Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy." So I turned around. He said, "Here." Well, when he threw my ink pen, I dropped it, of course.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Nice hands, buddy." But yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I remember that. I don't know if I still have that same ink pen or not.
I'd
But
frame that baby. Yeah.
but I did that. I did that for a little bit, and then I had a really good friend. Was a school teacher in the summertime. Tim Martin used to coach baseball.
I know Tim, yeah.
And then I said, "Tim, Pat needs some help down there." So they did it. They did it every game. I just kind of picked pick the games that I did and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and of course working in the clubhouse, you know, you got to meet. Of course, then you know, I would talk to them all, and
Sure.
and all the families would come in and stuff. But it was kind of fun doing that.
Who was like one of the nicest people you met?
Well, back so one of them back then. Remember Cal Daniels?
Oh yeah.
Cal Daniels and probably Gary Reedus.
Yeah.
So they played, you know, in the 80s, but they, you know, every morning, you know, or they would always speak to you. And,
Yeah.
and that's when even Chris Sabo was there, because I remember talking to him. I said, how'd you get your nickname and everything? And do you remember what his nickname
I can't
was?
remember what it was. What was it?
Rick? I bet you Bill would know.
Oh, I'm sure he would know.
They called him Spuds.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Remember
Spuds
that?
McKenzie, the dog.
Yeah. And I said, so how'd you get that nickname? And I'll never forget, he told me that Pete gave it to him.
Oh, really?
And it kind of,
Remember the glasses that he
Yeah.
yeah, he wore those.
with those glasses?
But yeah, you know, most of them are really, really nice being
Yeah.
around. And then I remember too, you know, they're like, hey, don't get any autographs. I knew Bill knew it. And they said, hey, don't ask for autographs or nothing. But, you know, Tony Perez would come in all the time.
Yeah.
And I had this little handbook type thing. And of course, me, you know, like nobody's going to know if I get their autographs. They're going. But Tony Perez, he used to sign.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I still have that. But he was really, really good guy. And I'll tell you something else too. So this is at '89, and when I worked at Clubhouse, those reporters were after Pete so bad.
Oh yeah.
With all the gambling stuff. I myself seen those reporters interview Pete Rose while he was taking a shower.
Yeah.
They would not leave that man alone at all. They just.
Did they ever ask you guys to intervene, like get these guys out of there?
Oh yeah, but the thing was, if they had the proper credentials, you know.
Yeah, but you're bigger than all of them.
Yeah, no,
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, get out. But no, but that was really fun time doing that.
So the door prize, Bill, was it's already been eaten. The donut.
Yeah, the donut Rick ate was your door prize. Actually, I'm going to try to get you one of Dean's Buckeyes later, but
Better hurry because they're getting thin.
they're getting thin. You're the only one that's been eating them.
I know.
Dang.
Yeah, we'll give Tony some too.
Yeah.
I did that one year, what you're talking about, but I did it for the Bengals when they're out here at Wilmington College.
Oh yeah.
I had to sit in front of the locker room
Yeah.
and make sure no one came in the locker room while they were practicing.
Yeah.
I mean, easiest job in the world.
Yeah.
That's when Boomer was playing. They just got Boomer.
Is that
I
right?
can still remember Boomer walking down the hall with a New York Mets hat on.
And really, yeah.
Yeah, Boomer and then Anthony Munoz. And,
You know, when I was a kid, I rode my bicycle over there to practice every day. I watch him, you know. I can still see Paul Brown walking around the field with his big straw hat on. Forrest Gregg.
I remember seeing Forrest Gregg. Yeah.
I remember.
Bruce Coslett.
Yeah, and Trumpy.
Yeah, Bruce Coslett and I have something in common. We have the same birthday, August 5th.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Coslett. I can't remember. I think Forrest Gregg might have been the coach, but also Montoya, Max Montoya.
Yep.
Collinsworth.
Yep.
Icky. I think Icky was in there about that time.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah, I remember because you know back in them days when they practiced, I mean you could almost get on the field, and and I can remember Greg Cook, you know, of course I still have all their autographs and pictures, you know, but Greg Cook, and there was a running back Paul Robinson, you remember him?
Yep.
But I guess that's why. Booby Clark, number 42. Booby Clark. Yep.
Yeah. I used to go over when I was a little kid and watch them as well.
Oh, yeah.
But that was just a neat experience. We couldn't ask for autographs either.
Yeah.
I was doing it for the college. I was I got paid, what do they call that? I don't know, when you get those college jobs.
Yeah, like an intern for the college.
Well, yeah, but they had a certain name for it. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. But anyhow, I got paid for it through the college, which was cool. Could just get there, sit on, get paid, sit on your butt, and keep people out of the locker room.
Yeah, I remember over there one day. Remember Jess Phillips, a running back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was number 30. But anyhow, he threw me his sweatbands,
Oh, neat.
and
yeah.
you know, and I still have them to this day.
Yeah.
But
Yep, Nathan Howland, how you doing? Nathan, I need to get you on here. I keep saying that. You just keep ignoring me, but you're still welcome. Now, just for your acknowledgement, you may or may not know this. Did you know Ryan Briggs? You know Kenny Briggs?
oh yeah, yeah.
You know Ryan.
Ryan, yeah.
He's putting on a sports card show every month out here at the fairgrounds, and it is. Next one's going to be April 12th, so it's not this Saturday, it's next Saturday.
So you can buy and sell out
You can
there.
buy and sell. It's like $20 a table or $30 a table for the first and $20 for an additional table. I went out and tried to sell some stuff last time. I didn't have cards. I had mainly just paraphernalia. And,
Yeah.
I did okay, yeah.
See, I have some Mickey Mantle cards.
Oh, wow.
Roger Maris, of
That's
course.
big money.
I have all of Johnny Bench's cards and everything, but I thought, I'm not going to sell them. I'll wait. I have two grandsons in California, and my other one, well, Parker, he's in the Army. They're in Missouri now, but I figured I'll just hold them and wait. And so it's funny, I'll tell you a story. So when we were traveling to my best friend, remember Jay Hart? He lives out in Phoenix, so I always drive wherever I go.
I've seen him.
And so,
him in years.
Johnny Bench was born and raised in Binger, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so they have a little museum there, and it's in the city municipal building. And I thought, I'm gonna go to the museum. And so you get off the highway, and I'm telling you, Charlie, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you think back then, it's like, how did scouts ever find Johnny? Because this town, Binger, Oklahoma, it doesn't even have a stoplight. It doesn't have anything. And when you're driving, you think, well, there's nothing out here. But you go in the museum, and they had a lot of his gold gloves in there.
Yeah.
But it was really, really interesting to see all the stuff.
That would be.
And it has all of his baseball cards.
It's still there. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still open. Because matter of fact, every time that I go, I've been there 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I always like to see if they add anything. Well, then this last trip, Mickey Mantle was born in Commerce, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm going to go to his hometown and see what they got.
Did they have something too?
They had a lot of monuments, and you could go to his house.
Oh, wow.
At his house that he grew up at, and they had a lot of plaques and stuff. But I like kind of doing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's really.
You ever been to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's I need to go back.
I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I need to go.
Of course, been to the Football Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, I just went to it when Ken Riley at the Bengals.
Yeah.
I just went after he got inducted.
I never have been to the basketball. I threatened to go there.
It's awesome. It's
Is it?
I've been there. We were going to Boston to watch the Red Sox play. And they had a night game. Well, Springfield, where the Hall of Fame's at, just outside.
Right.
I don't think it took us very long to get there, but it's really interesting.
I probably should have stopped there. We went up there a couple of years ago. My wife always wanted to go to Salem.
Oh yeah.
For the witch
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Well, I've been up there.
Yeah. So, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't make it to. I wanted to go see ESPN.
Oh yeah.
I didn't make it there. I wanted to go see the Patriots Stadium because we were very close to all these places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, there's something else up there I wanted to see, and we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
There's an American Stonehenge.
Really? In Boston?
No, it's near. It's near there. It's in New Hampshire, but it's only like maybe a half hour from
Yeah.
Salem.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's interesting because it lines up with the Stonehenge and in England. So.
You know, I remember we went to watch the Red Sox, Pam and I, my wife, and they had a night game. And it's like, all right, what are we going to do today? And she said, well, you know, let's go north on the coast. So we ran right along the coast, and we went to Salem.
Yeah.
And we drove around, you know, Salem. That was a good trip for us.
A lot of neat stuff to see up there.
Yeah, and you know, like
My
Fenway
wife
Park.
loved it.
Fenway Park, we took a tour. You could go up on the Green Monster,
Oh, neat.
and they took us down on the field. And man, Charlie, that wall is huge. When you're standing there looking
Yeah.
up, it's huge.
Yeah, it would be. I tell you what, I'd heard so many horror stories about Boston traffic that we kind of
The
circumvented.
city is crazy, it's designed like
It's
crazy.
it's like Washington D.C., like where everything's like
Yeah.
circles in.
In fact, I had an uncle that was actually a city planner.
That's why it's great. No,
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I found out when we go to the cities like that, when you're not in a hurry, all the traffic jams and stuff, you really don't
You
care.
don't care,
You know,
yeah.
you don't care. No, and you know, we went down. I remember, and then I've been to Fenway a few times, but my buddy Tim Starkey,
Yeah.
we went and watched the Red Sox play, and we went down to Plymouth, seen the Plymouth Rock.
yeah, I did go there. We did stop there.
We like the history and the pilgrims and everything.
Yeah.
We went.
The
and seen
Mayflower's
that.
right across there,
Yeah,
Mayflower
but,
replica.
But yeah,
Yeah, we did hit it. We never hit a bunch of those states up the East Coast, so we hit them all.
yeah.
So we can say we've been to all those states up there. One of the neatest things we did, we went to New Hampshire and got on the Conway Railroad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did this old railroad. It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
And the town was all
Yeah, that's why I like
old-fashioned.
doing when you go out west. You take one of them train rides.
See, I haven't done that. I'd
And
like to.
You go down through Flagstaff and Sedona,
Yeah,
and down. Yeah.
you're talking like Route 66 now.
You know, I've gotten on there, and so I go to a lot of minor league games too.
Right.
And I'll stop in Albuquerque, New Mexico, watch the Isotopes, or what about this one's Amarillo, Texas?
Yeah.
You know what their nicknames are?
The armadillos.
What do you think, Rick?
Amarillo,
Amarillo
coyotes, I don't know.
sod poodles.
Sod poodles.
The
okay.
sod poodles. Yep. They're the sod poodles.
Well,
and
that's like the one in Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama. You know what they are? The trash pandas.
yeah, the trash pandas. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what their nickname is.
Yeah, I stopped in Tulsa last year and seen they're the drillers.
Drillers.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of fun going to different minor league stadiums.
Joliet Slammers.
Joliet Slammers, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, that's where the Blues Brothers prison is in the movie. It's 9:30, so we're going to take a little break. I think, did we miss the 9:15 break? That's all right. We'll be back in just a minute.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
The only man in the world who can list all the vice president's wives in order of height, from shortest to tallest.
Reunites with the only other man in the world who cares.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Made up stories to brighten your day.
And maybe, just maybe, keep you safe. But don't count on it.
and all the latest news about the Murphy, Ohio's hometown theater. It's what you've come to expect.
And it's what we've come to deliver.
With the Murphy Report, every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel.
Amanda, I understand you have a special skill of reciting the entire alphabet backwards.
Yeah, that's true.
That must be quite a belch.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Forget the clown princes of basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters. There's a new all-star, family-friendly comedy polo team taking the sporting entertainment world by storm. The Equine Trots.
bringing their highfalutin, high-kicking, mallet-swinging, horsey hijinks to an equestrian center near you.
I'm Amanda Martin,
And I'm Steve Burnett. Made up stories just like these.
as well as real news about what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
On the Murphy Report, news the way it's meant to be delivered.
In less than 30 minutes, or it's free.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
Amanda, yeah, my buddy Sam was recently tossed from his own horsey all the way across the arena, landed in a soft bale of hay right next to another horse that was already asleep.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous. What's his condition?
Stable.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Yesterday,
I stirred him up a little bit about the funding.
I thought it was funny. And I'll tell you what, that one guy, whoo. I won't get started on that. But anyhow, we're back with Tony Haley. He's a Wilmington legend. Now, I have to ask, because if you're not, you should be, but are you in the Clinton County Hall of Fame?
No.
Why not? People, come on. Let's get with it.
I don't know. I was one of them that did all the dirty work behind the scenes. No.
Bill Learman, you need to get on that.
My dad and brother Tim, but really, my two sisters, Ann and Amy, were really, really good high school athletes.
Yeah.
And they were really good. But,
Well, I'm putting my shout out for you.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. He needs to be in there, folks.
Yeah.
If he's not in there, just
Yeah.
for all the multitude of things he's
Yeah.
done. Not only as a coach, a player, umpire,
Yeah.
and heck, even work security for the Reds ought to count for something.
Yeah.
My
No.
opinion.
I kind of, I like going to. I like going to the Reds games. Last year we went, my daughter and I, Kelly Jo, we went to Atlanta, and at their new stadium. They have a new stadium in the north side.
Yep.
And Kelly Jo and I, we went and watched the Braves and Reds play, and they.
Atlanta, that's a tough town to get around into.
Yeah, but like the stadium, it's north, and we didn't have to,
Like north of Marietta?
No, not quite. Yeah, but
So it wasn't too bad to get in and out of?
no, it's real easy. Yeah, it was really, and matter of fact, so the place that we stayed at a Hampton Inn, and was in walking distance to the stadium.
Wow,
So
that's
when we
awesome.
got there, we didn't even have to leave.
That's awesome.
And it's in a nice neighborhood. It's not like the old Atlanta Fulton County.
Yeah.
Because I've been there also, and when you're,
What's the name
born
of
and
the new
raised
one?
in Wilmington, it's, yeah, it's kind of tough.
What's the name of the new one?
The new one is, I don't know. Bill will have to give us the answer on that.
This is about the third or fourth stadium they've had.
Yeah,
They had the Fulton,
Atlanta Fulton.
and then they had the Olympic Stadium that
Yeah.
where the Olympics was. They had that for a while, And but this is the first one, because even the Olympic Stadium was sort of south.
Yeah, it was all south down by the
Yeah,
airport.
but now sounds like the first stadium that they've actually moved up north.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Up north is really a nice area.
Yeah, it is. It's a really nice area.
That's the area that was tired of being a part of Atlanta. They were trying to secede from Atlanta and become their own city. I don't think that's taken place, though.
I think that's why they do so well with their crowds. I mean,
Trust Park.
yeah.
Truist
Truist Park. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Turner Field.
Yeah, Turner Field.
Yeah, Turner Field, yeah.
After the Cincinnati native, Ted Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to, that might be an interesting road trip. I tell you,
Yeah.
a place I'd like to go, maybe you can tell us if you've been to this minor league stadium. Have you been to Chattanooga?
No, but my daughter has. Kelly Jo's been to watch the Lookouts.
That's what I hear. I hear really positive things about
So,
Chattanooga.
matter of fact, when we were going to go, I think Kelly's been to the Lookouts, but when I was coming through, I have a minor league app on my phone, so I always check to see if they're going home or
Right.
not. And the Lookouts were away that weekend.
Okay.
But I'll tell you another one you'd really like. I don't know if you go to the Smoky Mountains a lot.
There is one right there at Sevierville.
Yeah,
Cubs.
the Cubs. It's
Yeah.
a double-A team of the Cubs.
Yeah, I've never been to that.
And they don't draw a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really nice little stadium to go to.
I'll tell you where we went to one here not too long ago. We went to, I can't remember the name of the team, but West Virginia, over at West Virginia Stadium. The university stadiums where this minor league team played.
There was it in
Bears?
Charleston.
And there's some.
There's a minor league in Charleston called the Power.
No,
They're the single A of the Pirates.
This is like the Bears or something. This is where West Virginia University is. So where's that at?
Morgantown.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. That's where they played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could
there's
see
a whole
the
bunch of
Bears.
minor league teams down through that
Plus,
eastern
we've
part.
been to the one there that's on the Pennsylvania border as you're heading that way.
Oh yeah.
What the hell's the name of it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It sits right there on the road.
Right, yeah, right there.
It's
on
right
the road.
on the
We
road.
stopped there.
Yeah.
And that was weird because that's the only baseball game I'd ever been to where you had to return the foul balls because we were there like right after COVID and they were having a shortage of baseballs.
Yeah.
Seriously. Let's name that one.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people throw them back anyway, Charlie.
Washington Wild Things. Washington,
Wild
Pennsylvania.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Washington Wild
It's
Things.
right there on not 68. But yeah, I know where you mean.
Yeah, it's
I've driven past. So when my son was stationed, my Parker, my son, he's in the Army. Well, he was stationed in D.C. and we would go that way all the time.
yeah.
And go, and we would stop in Fredericksburg, Maryland.
Yeah.
Watch the Keys play,
Okay.
and then Harrisburg, they have a minor league team called the Suns. We stopped and watched them
And
play.
there's another one there in the middle of Pennsylvania too.
But yeah, there's
There's a big casino there. I'm trying to think.
the one. Well, there's a big casino in Charleston,
Yeah.
the single A of the Pirates,
Is
but
that Charleston Charlies?
they're called Power.
Then they used to be the Charleston Charlies at one time.
You know, I don't remember.
No, I think
I
it
don't.
was.
I don't.
I'm not making
remember.
that up.
But the minor league stadiums are really fun to go to, and then the major league stadium, of course.
The Phillies AAA team is there in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's not that far from State College, because we drove by there to see Penn State's
Yeah.
university, which was pretty neat. Starts with an L. That's all I can think of. It's their AAA farm
Not
club.
Lafayette.
No, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, for some reason that storm.
it's all getting old, isn't it?
That storm last night messed up my thinking, I guess,
My
because I
memory,
can't. My memory.
To reset the computer.
I can see them all. Lehigh.
Lehigh Iron Pigs.
The Iron Pigs.
The
yeah.
Lehigh Iron Pigs.
I knew
yeah.
I'd think of it sooner or
You
later.
gotta love these names, though.
I know, it is kind of neat.
They wear the lipstick.
I don't know what
That's
they
like,
were.
if you look at, I mean, you have to do history on it, but when you look up the sod poodles, it's like, what's a sod poodle, you know?
What is it?
And it's something, it's like a plant or something in the fields or something
Interesting.
out there. And then the isotopes,
That's a weather thing.
yeah, it's like with the atomic bomb and all that molecules.
It's in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah, in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it's real funny when I went there. This couple that sat beside me, they both graduated from Ohio State.
You can
Oh,
find
really?
Buckeyes everywhere.
Yeah, there's Buckeyes all over the place.
You know, I just watch. You might watch random videos pop up on Facebook. Ginger Finney, her and her husband and a couple other people. There's this guy called Tom the Mime, and he's down at SeaWorld. But anyhow, he also does a minor league baseball game.
Oh yeah.
And they're showing the highlights of Tom the Mime up in the stands messing with people.
Yeah.
And here's all these people I know from Sabina and Washington
Yeah,
Courthouse just in a random video. I was like, what the heck? So I sent it to her. She says, yeah, so many people have seen that.
Together.
What's that?
Said it must have been a group that went down together.
Yeah, they travel together, but you don't expect to see them on a video in Florida.
No, you don't. No, that's
Now,
right.
you ever go down spring training?
Yeah, last year. So we went last year, and
Arizona or
we
Florida?
went to out at Phoenix, and we had a really good time because, you know, my cousin Rob Butcher, you know, that
Yeah.
was his. He just retired.
We'd like to get him on the show. Now, is he still in the area?
Yeah,
or is
he's
he-
down in. They live in northern Kentucky.
Okay.
But yeah, he'd have some good stories. But
That would be
anyhow, so my Aunt Rita, they were out there, and so I stay at Jay's. Jay and I, we go do a little golfing a couple days, and then we'll go watch baseball.
Right.
But we went inside and watched, you know, take batting practice and seen them all. But when you go to spring training games, I don't know why the Reds. There's not a big following out
Right.
there.
Well,
It
you're
must
so
be
far
too far.
away, yeah.
It's just too
There's a
far.
lot more of a following in Florida.
Florida,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of
But-
snowbirds.
Yeah, but what we liked, we would go to Goodyear, watch the Reds. Well, then when they go somewhere else, we would go to the Royals and watch them. Or
The Indians
or
were
go-
right there too,
Yeah,
right?
so the Indians are there.
Share the stadium.
Another story. So I was down there not last year, but I've been out there a few times, watched spring training. But the Milwaukee Brewers were playing the Reds. Well, remember Travis Shaw from Courthouse? And my buddy was with me as I took another friend from Wilmington out. He wanted to go, and we went golfing. He said, "I'm not watching baseball." I said, "Billy, see that guy right here?" I said, he knows who I am. He said, "No, he don't." I said, "Yes, he does." I said, "I umpired him all through his high school career, and plus in Legion. And when I started walking down the stairs, he seen me. Oh, Travis did. Travis Shaw.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey," he said, "I know you, don't I?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's go down here." So we went way down the foul line, and we talked. And I think those guys, they really do get homesick because they
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
And, you know, they like, you know.
Well, you're gone. I mean, yeah, 6,
you know,
7
they're
months out,
busy
8
and
months
stuff.
out a year.
But, yeah, my buddy Billy couldn't believe that. I talked to Milwaukee Brewer, old Travis Shaw. But, yeah, but, you know, he had I mean, he didn't have a, you know, Hall of Fame or enough career, but, you know, he had a nice major league career with the Red Sox in Milwaukee.
Well, just getting to go and play even a few years. I mean, that's
Yeah, and you know, he
think how hard that is to do. you
to
know.
even make it. But yeah, I really enjoy. We had plans of going this year, but some things fell through, so I didn't get to go this year. So now, since being retired, I like going to different. You know, the spring training is fun.
Now, if you go down and see Elvis, go see the Memphis That's a nice stadium there.
They're at Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Cardinals AAA team, I think. Memphis Cardinals or something.
I know they're in Springfield, Missouri.
Well, no, there's one in Memphis.
And one,
there's one
the
in
Memphis Redbirds.
Yeah, Memphis Redbirds, yeah.
Be the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, they're the Cardinals. Maybe they're AA, but I thought they were AAA. We've seen them.
That's why I like. So my son that lives in LA, we're going out in June, but I like, when we go, then all the minor league teams are playing, because when you go in spring training, the minor leagues hadn't started up yet.
Right.
So, but.
So are you going to go to an LA Dodgers game?
Oh yeah, matter of fact, I've been there. I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
Really?
Well, I'm telling you, there's nothing like sitting at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just with all the hills
History
around
and everything.
It is really neat. And what's really nice now, my son and their family's been out there for so long. Ryan, he knows all the back ways.
Yeah.
And you can really avoid the traffic.
I'll tell you, a place I went to a game out there, I went to Anaheim. Mm-hmm. And that's a neat stadium.
I've been there. We've been to the Angel Stadium. It was really it was really fun. We went that summer that we went is when they won the World Series that year.
Oh wow!
But
it's been so long ago I went. I mean, it was just neat seeing that rock wall and the waterfall and everything out there.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of stadiums that have been since tore down. Obviously, we've both been to Riverfront, but Municipal Stadium up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And Comiskey Park.
See, I've been to the new,
I've been to the
old
old one. Yeah.
But Comiskey Park, it's I missed it, and Yankee Stadium. I haven't been to old Yankee Stadium. I think, man, that would have been.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd have been a nice place to watch.
I tell you, the older I get, though, the less I really want to be around a lot of them big crowds.
Well, I'm finding that out myself. Like the old stadiums, the seating, like when you go to Wrigley. I mean, Wrigley is a nice place to go.
It's got to be a sardine.
Yeah, the seats.
They're so much smaller.
They are so small and so crowded. Your knees are in your chest. Well, the time we went to Boston, they're the same way.
Yeah.
And my friend Tim Starkey, he had to stand up. He couldn't even, because his knees were just
jacked up.
Oh yeah, you couldn't even sit. You couldn't even sit in a seat.
I'll tell you another good stadium, fun stadium, and it's close, is Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's awesome.
Pittsburgh's a nice field to go to. Also.
It's when you walk across the Clementi Bridge, and I remember going there. It was really we had a really good time there. Also, it's a really nice place to watch a game. But there's just something. So I remember when we went to San Diego. You know how when the Reds are on the West Coast and they don't start till 10 o'clock,
right? Yeah.
And then people are just sitting out there in the sun. And
yeah.
So when you go to San Diego, so it was just before Parker joined the Army. Parker and I went to a game, and we're standing outside, and I always buy a hat from the team from where we're at, and we're sitting there. Well, that year, Parker played for me at the college. Well, he had his Wilmington College hat on.
Right.
And all it was a black hat with a green W. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and this older lady came up, and she says, "Man, that's a real nice, pretty hat you got on there." And Parker's like, "Well, thank you, ma'am." Said, "We're not from around here." And she said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, we're from Ohio."
Yeah.
So help me, Charlie. The next thing she says, "Well, that must be a Wilmington College hat."
Oh, wow.
We're in San Diego. I about fell over. I said, "How in the world did you know that?" She says, "Well, my brother went to college back there in the late 50s." And she says, "Yeah, I've been to Wilmington before." And we're way out in San Diego.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. But it's kind of neat.
That is. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. I thought did she end up with a hat?
No.
That's what I was waiting to hear.
But so many teams. What I like about the Reds and Dodgers, of course, some of them have a home and away hat. But you know, the Reds are just the Red Sea, and the Dodgers are the LA home and away.
Right.
And some of them have 3 or 4 different hats.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Some of them get some crazy stuff.
yeah.
Well, they all have those City Connect uniforms
Yeah,
now.
I don't care too much for them. I always tell Bill that I'm a real old school fan. I don't like some of the new rules, and
What's some of the new rules you don't like?
Well, the one I really
the
don't.
timing or
That timing, you know, with the pitch clock. Here's what it is. If you, I mean, we didn't go to a lot of games when I was little, but when my dad would take me and my friends to a Reds game, you wanted every game to go extra innings. You didn't want it to end.
right.
Always went to the Chicago games with the double headers.
Yeah,
Now-
because you wanted to watch. And I didn't want to go to a game. Well, the games take too long. Well, you know, if they take too long, you're allowed to leave.
Yes.
You can get up and leave. And
Yeah.
like if I drive 2,000 miles to go to LA, I don't want the game to last 2 hours. I want to enjoy the game. You know,
Right.
I don't like that.
But I am going to say this. Like with that Ohio State game I went to the other day,
Yeah.
10 pitching changes. We did leave early.
Yeah.
And we were already 4 hours into it.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know, there's people, but I don't really like. And you know, with pitching, it's like, well, you know, like on opening day of the Reds, they had 2 outs, 2 strikes in the ninth. They had 2 outs, 2 strikes on the hitter. Next pitch hits a home run,
Yeah.
and they lose the game.
Yeah.
And it's like a pitcher, they don't want to be rushed.
No.
You know, I don't like, okay, hurry up.
Well, you
It's
can,
like,
you can still
I
call
don't enjoy
timeout.
that.
You can throw over to
Yeah.
a base. I mean,
And
Joe
what-
and Joni, how you doing, Joe and Joni?
And then one of the other ones, I'm really old school. I'll take some heat on this, but I do not like the instant replays at all.
I don't like it when they take forever.
No. And
Yeah.
then how many times, Charlie, have you seen they went to replay,
And they got
they're
it
showing us a call, and they still don't get it right?
Well, that's true. Or they got it right automatically, and they still take 10 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't like that. And so Bill and I, we talk about this. Some of the great managers, you know, like Lou Padella.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Few bases.
Bobby Cox.
Yeah.
He's got thrown out in more games than anybody.
Yeah.
Billy Martin.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So here, and these guys now, they sit in the dugout on that. Earl Weaver. So people nowadays have no idea that these managers can fire your team up. Remember when Lou Piniella, he took first base out and threw it clear in right field
Yeah.
to fire his team up. Well, nowadays it's like, go to the headset. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
yeah,
like,
that's it.
man, you know what? The umpires are human.
You still
They're
see
going to miss
some
them.
arguments, though. You
Yeah, but not, you know, not like those guys did.
do. No.
It's like,
No.
all right, but there was nothing any more entertaining when Earl Weaver and Bobby Cox get mad
Yep.
and get on the umpires, and then the other umpires had to come in and help, and
Davy Johnson will let you have it, too.
yeah,
That was part of the game.
That was
but I don't know.
That was part of the.
No, I don't like I think it should be like football. You get so many shots and that's it.
But the thing is, but they'll say, well, that's not reviewable. Well, wait a minute. If you're using instant replay to get the calls right,
It should be reviewable.
you should be able to review anything.
Right.
You know, well, that fair foul ball is not reviewable.
They're even starting to do that with balls and strikes, aren't they? But that's not.
Oh, yeah. I hope.
Is that going on though now, or is
Well, it is in AAA,
that, okay?
but now in the majors. But they, you know, they did it in spring training.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't go to that. But that's part of the game. And Greg Maddux with the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, the plate's 17 inches wide.
All right.
And if you throw it a half inch, it's a strike. But you
Right.
know, if you go to instant replay, well, it's outside the box ball.
Yeah. Now you got to give some of those pitchers. You give them a little because they're always so accurate. Give them that black of the plate. You know, whatever.
You know, I'd always, you know, would like to see Tom Seaver or Maddox go out to the local fair and do the dunking machine.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't you like to see them
They'd
throw?
break it.
Couldn't you like to see them throw and hit the bullseye? I mean, they'd be wet all the time.
I'll tell you, Nolan Ryan though, that was a pitcher to watch right there.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my gosh. You talk about one bad dude, man. He didn't care how big, how small, how whatever. He didn't like it, he's throwing at you.
Yeah, they
I'll
did.
tell you, India took one the other night. Did you see that?
Yeah, and you know what? He played the next day.
Played the next day. I'm surprised he didn't break his damn jaw.
I know, me too.
99-mile-an-hour fastball to the head.
To the head.
Some people never recover from stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, they're done.
But
yeah, he's in there the next day.
and then played in that. I don't know about that trade sometimes.
Well, India was a good clubhouse leader, but where were you going to play him? That's the thing.
I think McLean, he'll be better off at second.
Well,
maybe.
McLean's already got 2 home runs already.
Yeah, they're. I hope they're not the same old Reds. I hope they go to Milwaukee tonight,
Hopefully they'll get well.
and hope they can get the bats out.
Well, that was one of the things about the Yankees. They were complaining about the Yankees with the torpedo bats.
yeah.
But then half the people said, no, the Brewers just suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they said the Brewers pitching, I mean, they don't have anybody hardly even throws over 95.
Yeah, and you know,
So-
before the season started, there was a lot of them predicted that the Rangers are going to the playoffs.
Rangers 2-1-0 games. That's
You know, I told Jay, I said, when you know the Reds had really good. I think their pitching is good. I mean, they pitched really well.
yeah, 1-0.
They just can't hit.
Yeah, they got to support their pitchers.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you one thing I just despise about Major League Baseball. No one plays small ball.
No.
And you know, even when I coached, we learned how to freaking bunt.
Bunt.
Because I tell you what, if you can bunt, especially like in high school girls softball,
Bunt.
you don't know what's liable to happen. Because I've seen many a times where we would lay down a bunt and that girl's end up scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just errors, you know, throw the ball in the right field and you got somebody fast.
That's what I really enjoyed about Leesburg. Every 1 through 9 on the team knew how to bunt.
Well, yeah, you got to.
we would win games and have 4 hits and would score 10 or 11 runs because we would bunt and steal. And they don't ever hit and run anymore. When's the last time you seen?
I know. The Reds did the other night,
But it's
and
like-
they got them out of a double play.
But like, put the ball in play. Let's go.
Right. Because make something happen.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 things to finish up with. I have the word of the day. I forgot. Petrichor. You guys ever heard what petrichor is?
No idea.
It's that beautiful smell after a rain, or when rain's coming.
Yeah.
That rain, that smell, they call it, that's the petrichor smell. I didn't know that until today. Final thought. Now, this is from Alec Baldwin. All right. So keep that in mind. Remember, sex is like a Chinese dinner. It ain't over till you both get your cookie. And on that note, we're out of here. Tony, thanks for coming in.
All right,
You
no
say
problem.
bye to everybody. And
All right, I
hopefully
enjoyed
you'll
it.
come back. Hopefully
right.
you'll come back. Maybe
Anytime.
with Learman here, you only get to talk about half of what you did today.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
say,
Yeah. Okay.
but we'll get you